Cameo's pretty cool truck. That's a fun truck to drive. Now for something completely different. It's 57 International A100 Golden Jubilee. Is that right?
Golden Jubilee.
Golden Jubilee. I mean, this is the un-international. I mean, this is about as far from what you typically think of an international truck being as you can get, because this is a great looking truck.
1957 International came out with a brand new body style. You said the A100. They had this for 2 years only. And the beauty of this is International got started in 1907. And most people know International today as farm related, heavy truck related.
Balers, farm wagons, tractors.
And in 1907, they came out with their original auto buggy. And what it was basically 2 rows of seats, but the back seat, was actually removable. And that then turned into like a pickup truck. And so International quickly became a truck company. And they didn't make their money by building pickup trucks. They were heavily known for building light, medium, and heavy duty trucks. And so in 1957, their 50th anniversary, at that point, International had already built and sold over 2.6 million trucks.
Seriously?
They were one of the largest truck manufacturers from 1941 through World War II.
Wow.
And when they actually made their trucks, they didn't put their name on them, which was, different, But they figured that was for the war effort. They weren't trying to do like Dodge did or Jeep or other manufacturers. They wanted to make it a generic heavy duty or medium duty truck. 1957 was their 50th anniversary, your golden anniversary. So they came out with the new Golden Jubilee edition.
Well, and it was also maybe a couple years late to the game, but they were jumping on this luxury truck craze.
Correct.
Which was actually already fading, but this wasn't going to be International's thing anyway. I think, though, for International, this is really a great looking truck.
This is a beautiful truck, and the luxury pickup truck market got kicked off in 1955 with the Cameo. International said, you know what? We can't just copy them. We actually have to be a little better than they are. So they came out with more for your money. And you may say, well, what do you mean more for your money? Well, this truck is actually 5 inches wider than that truck.
You can see it.
If you go back to the bed, now Chevrolet, they had a standard 6.5 foot bed. But with an International, you had a full 7 foot bed.
More for your money.
More for your money.
Well, that windshield is bigger too. I mean, that's a huge
sweep
windshield.
Side windshield, and even the cargo space in the back. Again, 6 inches longer, 6 inches wider. They actually built about 500 of these in total. That's all. And they were a showpiece. They sent them to their largest international dealers, and they were a talking point.
And they were all this gold and white color combo.
Gold and white, identical interior, just beautiful trucks. And one thing that's really unique on these is, and most people don't realize it, but the International A100 series actually has a fiberglass side panel bed design, just like the Cameo. And I can pull my good old magnet out again.
Sticks here, imagine the sticks there.
Yeah, and then if you put it on here, you just see how it just slides right off. All fiberglass. And so,
but the inside of the bed, for instance, I mean, that's steel.
Correct. And even look at the passenger and the driver's side door windows. They're large. Look at compared to the 55 Cameo. They're only about 2/3 the size of the window. And one thing that's also unique on these is that this is actually what I call a true stick shift. It's not 3 on the tree.
It's 4. 3 on the floor, though. It's still a 3, right?
Yeah,
but
actually
it's a 4
speed.
shift. And very, very basic dash.
Correct. Very plain.
Very plain.
Yep.
And the interiors were all the same, eh?
Everything was identical.
And the door panels are really nice.
And the gold with the white is really a pretty color combination.
It is. It's great.
And the cab is so roomy that you could easily put 3 adults in the front of that vehicle if you had to.
And you could wear full Stetson cowboy hats and get away with it.
Yeah, because it's a tall vehicle. You know, I can sit in this vehicle and I'll have 6-7 inches above my head.
That doesn't happen often for you.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Well, you know, there's so much chrome on this for international. I mean, these I guess these are backup lights, or
correct. And the beauty is, this was a statement. You know, they had hit their sales goal. Their goal was to do 2.5 million vehicles by the 50th anniversary. They had exceeded it at 2.6 million. So they wanted to let people know who International was. Because even though they made hundreds of thousands of vehicles in World War II, they didn't really get any credit for it.
And I said this is all chrome, a lot of chrome, but this might actually be stainless steel.
Yeah, it could be actually. This is, I think, polished stainless steel.
Yeah, and you'd probably want that because it's got to be a little bit more rugged.
Yeah.
Man, oh man, and I tell you, one of the things I really just love about this truck are the hubcaps. The IH hubcap is just killer.
Yeah. and International Harvester, that was their symbol. You know, the IH.
And a lot of chrome up front too. Again, for an international, this is amazing. Now,
not gaudy.
No.
But
tasteful, very tasteful.
Very tasteful.
This is still running a straight six, right?
220 cubic inch engine.
Let's look at this baby.
Yeah. And the beauty of the 6 cylinders is that they would run and run and run. Very dependable, very fuel efficient. A lot of low end torque.
That's actually a really big 6. I mean,
it's a big 6, and again, lots of room to work on your vehicle.
Man, you just see everything. But I love seeing the bell housing there, the transmission. It all looks so big.
And you got to remember, back in the day, farmers all worked on their vehicles.
Oh yeah, it needs to be simple.
You didn't call a service technician. You didn't bring it into the shop. Okay, they worked on their tractors, their combines. Anything that needed to be fixed, they were going to do it. They'd run into town, get the parts, come back, and work on getting it fixed.
Man, I mean, this thing is really beefy. You can tell, just everywhere this is beefy, which is what you'd expect from IH.
And you know, the shame of it is, most of these went to the farm, and today there's only 3 known to exist. This is the only one that's had a complete frame-off restoration.
Before you and I got talking, I'd never even heard of one. But I saw it a couple years ago when we were in the museum, and I went, what's that? You know, that's a Golden Jubilee, 57. And I'm like, man, that is a rare truck.
You know, at the American Muscle Car Museum, we like to collect items that are rare, or first of their class innovation.
Yeah.
So people can see that and they go, oh wow, I've read about that, but I've never seen one in person. And so here's a beautiful example, probably the nicest one in the world.
Oh, I'm sure.
And so it's a statement of America.
Oh yeah.
You know, these are all built in America. Now, today, of course, international trucks, Navistar, are built in probably half a dozen countries of the world. But back in the 50s, everything was made in America.
Yeah.
And they had great paying jobs for those workers. They provided the steel, you name it, everything was made in America.
You could make a living at it.
You could make a very good living at it.
Well, let's take this one out too.
Yep, this will be great.
Close this baby up.
Yep. Okay.
And a vehicle with enough headroom for you.
Plenty of headroom.
Let's go.
Plenty of headroom. Okay.
So let's see.
Gives you that big truck feel.
That is kind of an international start.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now this is a truck. Look at that. Look at that.
Sounds more like a truck. Shifts more like a truck.
Yeah, man. That big long. Oh, this is gonna be fun. And away we go. That is a double low. This is a 4-speed. It's got a double low. Okay. So that first doesn't go very far.
Yeah. Yeah. But you got to have the clutch all the way depressed and all the way up on first. Yeah. Now this sounds like a truck. You know, if they specialize in building medium and heavy duty trucks, this gives you a totally different sound perception than the 55 Cameo.
The steering wheel is way up.
Way up.
And kind of more vertical than the...
more vertical, than what the 55 Cameo was, which was more almost like, not quite like a Volkswagen bus that
But
was,
kind of, yeah. It had
but
that,
kind of leaning
you could
that
lean
way.
on it. Yeah, you don't
Leaning
lean
that
on
way.
this one.
No.
You almost look through it. So you say there's only 3 of these known to still exist?
All the searches and everything I've done is a parts vehicle, 2 others that are considered drivable condition, and then this one.
Wow.
And now there may be a couple sitting someplace in junkyards, but to find parts for this now is literally impossible.
I would imagine.
Literally impossible.
So in 57, did they make another pickup, or was this the pickup?
But they made other A100s that were not Jubilee pickups.
Got it, okay.
Yeah, okay.
And would have had steel beds and fenders and stuff?
Correct.
Got
Yes,
it.
Yes. This was the flagship to celebrate their 50 years and reaching their 2.5 million vehicle milestone.
I'm actually astounded at that number.
I was amazed too, but you know, let's face it, during World War II,
Well, we made a lot of trucks.
made a lot of stuff. I was reading during, you know, how much the United States gave the Soviet Union in World War II. And literally 1/3 of the entire Soviet army was American equipped.
No kidding.
And,
Wow.
and we gave them hundreds of thousands of medium-duty trucks, hundreds of thousands of heavy-duty trucks.
You know, this truck, unlike the Cameo was really forgiving in its downshifting. This one likes to be double clutched.
Yeah.
Which is what you expect with a truck.
Yeah. This really does drive a lot more like a truck.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
And again, I like the floor shift. I had to get used to where the pattern is because it's actually fairly close.
Yeah, for a 4-speed.
Yeah.
But I like this better than 3 on the tree. Because I grew up on a 4-speed like this. So,
Well, you know,
1, 2, 3,
it's
4.
a
and
truck.
then-
It should be like this.
Yeah.
This long arm, big knob.
Yeah. Yeah, this was more of a 2-person cab. As the Cameo, you could squeeze 3 in because you didn't have the floor shifter.
So until our next meeting, remember, honor the timeless classics. I'm Dennis Gage. Happy motoring.